you're not already there. And we're gonna start, I'm gonna turn my body actually to face you. So I recommend turning, going the long direction, and just sit down like this. And I know for some of us who are beat up in our feet, sitting even on our feet can be challenging. So you could always take this as a cross-legged position. But if you're gonna do the cross-legged position, see if you can really bring your shins in tight and give yourself a meditation seat or some seat to just sit up nice and tall. And I just want you to feel your body for a moment. Close your eyes if you can, or just pick a drishti, something to focus on. And take a few cycles of breath, just beginning to feel your energy level this morning. Every time you come to your mat, you never know what you're going to find. So be open-minded and optimistic. And then crawl your right hand out to the side. Even if you're sitting cross-legged, this is fine. Take your left arm, wrap it straight up, and then wrap it up and over, and just like kind of lean a little to the right. If you feel this a little bit too much in your lower back, remind yourself to draw your navel in and don't go as deep or as far. So it's not about distance here, how far you're going in these poses. Relax the shoulders a little bit down the back. And make sure if you're sitting like I am, your seat stays down on your heels. You're not lifting up. So just slide those fingers a little bit more over towards the right. And then you can just look up a little bit if you want. Take another big breath in and feel the side of your body. This is including your TFL. That's the side of your hip where all those little ligaments and joints connect. Take the left fingertips, reach them down, crawl them out a little bit to the side, and then stretch your right arm up, and then just reach up out of your waist. So just feeling elongation through the side body, and then maybe look a little off center to the right. Not everything we need to do in here makes us feel like we're like, going 150 miles an hour or blowing ourselves out of the water. Sometimes it's small movements that are most effective. Pull yourself back up. And right here, you're going to stand up on your knees. So if you're in a cross-legged position, just follow along. Curl the toes into the mat. Make sure the two knees are lined up. The right foot's going to turn out like this. You're going to create a bop shape. I wore my craziest pants I can find, so you can follow the leopard print here. Right knee drops out. Arms are going to open. So you're in an amended warrior two. You may need to pad underneath your left knee with a little towel or pillow. Focus on the uprightness of your body, and rather than just flying into these poses this morning, feel something different. Maybe feel your right heel. Maybe feel the sides of your body as they elongate and lift. The energetic reach of your fingertips apart. The wrapping open of your right knee. So you're not drawing your right knee in, it's externally rotating out. And a gripping in of your right hip underneath you. Reach a little more, and then slide your right hand down. Now you may want to use a block, place it to the instep of your foot, slide the palm onto the block and the left arm up. Good. Lean the right tricep back into the inner part of your right thigh. Reach up with your left arm. So it's an amended sun salutation, amended pose here. Extended side angle B. Take your left arm, and if this is available, wrap it around and take a half bind. Reach for the inner part of your thigh. You may need to come to a tented fingertip and create a little less resistance for yourself. Keep leaning back. Take your right arm and wrap it under if you want more. Create some space, look over your left shoulder. So you can just be in its most basic form with the hand down on the ground and the left arm up. You can be halfway there with the top arm wrapped around and the right hand down, or you can go all in right here and create a bind, lifting the torso. Connect to your breath and just pause. Twist the bottom ribs, offer up a little rinsing from right to left, grip the right hip. The way you got in will be the way you exit out. Right hand down, left arm up. Blood moves effectively through the fingertips. Pull yourself up to a warrior two amended. Slide the right leg out. You're creating a straight leg. Up and down with the left knee, right leg out. Right hand rests on the right shin, left arm stretches up. Top arm can wrap forward if you want to create a little bit more through the side body. Make sure your body is not dumping down. There's extension through your waist. If reaching your hand to your shin doesn't work out, use a block. Outside a calf, create resistance. The more you flex your foot, the more hamstring and IT stretch you're gonna get. Stay a little more upright. This looks good. Create a lot of space from your right ribs to your right armpit. That's it. Another big breath in. Pull up to a standing position. Bring your hands to your hips. Take your right knee next to your left and just stand up. Try curling the toes into the mat if you didn't do that on the first side. It helps. Left leg turns open, 90-degree angle. Make sure your knee and your ankle set up. Do that much first. Hands on hips, arms open up. So this is a really good way to know what to do if you need to modify ever, if you end up with an injury. You can take poses with the knee down. This is a great option. Broaden across your upper body and your torso. Feel the breath run through your body right here. Ujjayi breath, inhalation through the nose, exhalation through the nose, and pay attention to small things like your left heel, your outer left hip and glute, and your torso staying long. Start to reach with your left hand, slide the hand to the instep. A block's a great option. Bring the floor up to you, right arm up. Just stay like this. This is a great place to be. It's gonna give you a little opening in the hip, the torso, and just connecting to your practice. If you'd like to add in a half bind, start with your top arm, wrap it around and reach for the inner part of your left thigh or hip. Do that much first, don't get ahead of yourself. And then if you feel like you can sustain further, maybe the hand wraps under and you're able to get a full bind. Lifting of the torso, looking over your right shoulder and creating a little rinse. So if you've got a lot of thoughts running through your head right now, like most of us do when you come to your mat, just focus on little things like your breath, like staying grounded. Twist a little more from left to right. Look over your right shoulder. You will exit the way you got in. Don't just fly out of the pose. Left hand down, right arm up. Pull back up without any bounce. Modified warrior 2. Keep your arms really elongated. Slide the left leg out. Straight up and down on your right knee, left leg out. So you may just want to stay like this if this feels effective. If you're moving on, hand to your shin, right arm stretches up. If you want more, wrap the right arm forward. To the side actually, towards the toes. Keep flexing your foot. Use a block to the outside of the calf. You can be up really high, Nancy, if you need to. And be out of the lower back and focus on your obliques. Two more breaths. On your next exhale, pull yourself up, hands to your hips, and then see in one motion if you can just stand on your knees. Good. Pivot your hands around. Slide yourself into a downward facing dog, but make it tight and short. So it's going to look like this. Hands are going to be as wide as the mat. Feet are going to be hips width distance. And it's not a standing forward fold, but it's a tighter, shorter, downward facing dog. Give it a whirl. If your heels don't come all the way down towards the ground, that's okay. Don't sweat the little stuff. Let the head go. This morning's practice is about kind of drawing into the midline and gathering ourselves together, which is kind of what we're all hunkering down and doing in the current state of our world. Move the shoulders away from the center line of the body, but gather the outsides of your arms, wrap them in. Feel the outer blades of your feet, feel your arches lift, feel your inner and outer thighs, feel your waist stay long. Come up onto a tented left fingertip. It's going to look like this. So the right palm is flat, the left hand is tented. If this doesn't work, just keep the palm down. Just offering new ways to expose you into the basic poses. Right hand's going to slide to your left shin. You're on a tented fingertip. Your right hand is reaching for your left shin. Now look underneath your left armpit, take a gentle twist. Ground your feet, and if having yourself on your fingertips doesn't work, go back to a palm flat. Keep your hips neutral over your heels. Look down, right hand goes flat, left palm goes flat. Good. Try the other side. Maybe the palm needs to stay flat this morning, that's fine. Maybe you're able to come to a tented fingertip, slide the left hand to the right shin somewhere across the legs. You can get this easy twist. Look underneath the right armpit. So focus less on your right hand and focus more on your legs and your waist as you twist underneath your right armpit. Look up. Breathe some light into the back side of your body. Take another full breath in. Exhale, look forward, both hands come down. Keep your hands the way they are. Walk your feet back so you're in a regular dog. Yeah. Breathe your hips up off your shoulders this morning. Let your head go. Firm up your hands. Press down firmly. Feel your thumb, your index finger, your baby finger. And maybe your heels are lifted. Mine aren't down all the way today. You can spread your toes wide. You can bend behind your knees. There's so many options in this pose to make it work. Roll forward to a plank, wherever you are. Yeah, and align yourself here. And I just want you to play with this, guys, today. Move your weight all the way back, and you'll notice this is what happens. When my heels move all the way back, my weight is not distributed properly. So what I want you to do is look forward, move your weight all the way forward onto your tippy toes, and then hold there. Press the hands firmly into the ground, draw the navel in and up. And if this is too much for you, just don't want to work as hard, something's going on, drop your knees. Just support yourself in the pose. Feel the ground, feel the movement of your shoulders away from you. Firm up the sides of your body. We're still holding plank. And notice sometimes as you get tired, your weight wants to shift back. Keep that weight moving forward. Energetically, we always want to move forward in life. We don't want to look back. So hold here. Same thing with your gaze and your drishti. If you move your gaze in and you start to look towards your belly button, you're going to round your spine. So keep your drishti, your gaze a little forward. Bend your elbows in half chaturanga, support it with your knees down if you opt out of the push-ups today. Straighten your arms to a plank position. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank. Start to match movement with breath, everybody, the best that you can. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga, and pause. Lead with your heart and chest. Upward facing dog or baby cobra. Press actively through the tops of your feet. From your hips, up and back, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, land your right foot forward into a low lunge. Come to your fingertips. Drop your back knee, keep the knee on an angle. You can always pad. I like to keep my toes curled. It helps me a lot. Sweep your arms out and up. Gather your hands to a prayer, slightly off-centered. So not straight up, slightly off-centered. It looks like this. Hands are in prayer. Thumbs are pressing, palms are pressing, outer arms firm in. Focus on your right heel. Make sure your knee is directly over it and your knee is not sliding past your right foot. Back thigh is on a strong angle. Waist is gathering in. Breathe. Now your eyes can be straight forward or you can look up towards that prayer without dropping your neck back. Hold. So the more you press your palms, firm up, press in, you're kind of gathering that information of your body. Your right hip wants to wing out, squeeze it in. Hands draw to a prayer. Twist to the right just a little bit. So you're looking a little to the right, you're twisting to the right, your right knee does not wing out. Open up your arms. Yeah. Reach back with your right arm just as much as your front arm. Stay up and down with your torso. Grip your right hip in. Let your breath flow. Look forward towards your left hand. Circle the hands to frame your front foot. Activate your back leg. Firm up your outer arms. Step to a dog right from here. Glide your left foot forward and through. Drop your knee. You're on your fingertips. for a second. Yeah, just drop the knee, it's on an angle. You got it. Sweep your arms out and up. Gather the hands to a prayer slightly off-centered. If something is going on in your shoulders, this doesn't feel good, just have your hands shoulder width distance and out in front of you. So always giving you options. So this is a really basic pose, and we're just finding a different variation with our hands this morning. Wrap the sides of your body in. Notice that your left hip wants to wing out. Connect to your breath. Fuel the pose with nice slow inhalations through your nose, nice slow exhalations. Press the palms more together. Should feel a lot of energy building. Draw the hands to a prayer. Twist a little towards the left. Open up your arms the best that you can. If this arm, the left arm, feels stuck, you can always have your hand on the flat part of your back as an alternative. But breathe some life across your body. Watch your left knee. It wants to turn out. Grip it in. Nice, Jody. Look forward towards your right hand. Circle the hands to the floor. Activate your arms and your back leg. Step to a dog. Roll forward to plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself through an active up dog. Point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right foot lands. Step it all the way forward and through. Activate your back leg. If you really like having your back knee down, you can do that again. But if you like to move arms, sweep your arms out and up. High lunge. Hands come just like we did before, kind of off-centered. Yeah. And your eyes can look up a little, but what I don't want you to do is drop your neck back. Yeah. Drop down into your right thigh, not your knee. Feel the weight in your heel and move your hip points forward so your back leg really activates from your hamstring and your glute. Keep wrapping in. So like you're gathering in here. Yes, hold. Let your breath run through you. Drag the hands to a prayer. Same thing. Turn to the right a little. Watch that your right leg doesn't wing out. Open up your arms. Actively reaching across your body. Spread energy even through your fingers. Yeah. Grip your outer hips in. Look forward towards your left hand. Circle the left fingertips down to the ground. Take your right arm straight up and down into an easy twist. Taking a block underneath your hand is a great option too. Yeah, if it's too much, you drop your knee. Actively squeeze the outer legs in. Twist open. Feel the right heel. Feel the strength of that back left leg. If the leg is straight, it's set up for plank. Look down with your eyes. Place both hands to the floor. So you should be able to step right back to plank from here. If it didn't work out, no one's going to come after you, I promise. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself through a clean up dog if you're taking them this morning. Hips up and back, downward facing. Glide your left foot forward. If you chose to drop your knee, that's okay. Do what you need to do to make the pose work. Sweep your arms out and up, high lunge, and then gather the palms together slightly off-centered. And rather than just like getting to the pose, like feel the posture. The pose is pretty cool. I'm a yoga dork if by saying that, but feel what's happening. Feel your body awakening. Sit a little deeper into your front thigh, not into your knee. Feel the strength of your back leg. Really anchor, press the palms. Keep your focus, keep your breath. Drag your hands to prayer. Stay straight up and down with your body. Just turn a little to the left. Then open up your arms. So I find if you can keep your torso straight up and down, you're not going to kind of jeopardize using one side of the body more than the other. Sit deeper into your front thigh. Breathe into your back arm. Look forward with your eyes. Reach out in front of you. Right fingertip down, left arm open. Easy twist. Can always drop your knee. Yeah. Sit deeper into your front thigh. Wrap your left hip underneath you. Activate your back leg. and stack the shoulders the best that you can. Where your eyes go, your body does want to follow. So if you're like looking down all the time, you're just going to want to lay down. So look up. Back leg is set up for plank. So see if you can keep that and make a little effort here. Look down, place both palms flat to the ground, slide right back to a plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. You can take this out if it's not for you. Up dog pulls you through. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Land your right foot forward. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Root to rise, warrior one. Same thing with your hands and your arms. Gather your palms slightly forward. Squeeze your triceps in. You got it. So just check in with your alignment. Keep your arms like this, palms pressing together. Just straighten your right leg about 3/4 of the way. Steer your right hip back. Firm up the sides of your legs and your arms. Press firmly with your hands. And then rebend your front thigh. Take your left waist more forward. Good. Sit a little deeper into your front thigh. And this time, bring your arms straight out in front of you like this. So your hands are still in prayer. Your arms are straight out in front of you. Stack your shoulders over your hips. You got this. Nice. Really drive your feet into the floor. Take your left arm, wrap it underneath your right arm, lift your elbows up a little. Yeah. Keep bending into your front thigh and come forward for a humble warrior with eagle arms. Take your right arm and see if you can snuggle it to the instep of your right leg somewhere. Keep turning your left thigh. Yeah. So you don't have to go so far. You can also hover just like this and have your stomach more resting on your thigh, depending on your hips and how open you are. But if you're a little bit more bendy, you can don't be fearful of kind of getting in there, and your shoulder can snuggle, but you want to wrap your right hip underneath you. Keep turning the left thigh and the left waist to the front skinny edge of the mat, and keep feeling like you're pulling your arms apart. Stay with it. Let your head go. Pay attention. Are you squeezing your toes to the ground? Because you want to use your whole foot. Anchor your legs. Keep the strength there. Pull yourself back up. Unravel your arms, regular warrior one. Energetically reach up with your fingertips. Place your hands down to the ground. Move through a vinyasa or just step to a downward facing dog. It's up to you. When you get back to your downward facing dog, land your left foot forward. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Get yourself organized here. And then come up, warrior one. Gather your hands together in that prayer, slightly off-centered if that's available to you. Yeah, so Jody, sometimes you get to warrior one and you're actually able to slide your foot a little bit more forward and give yourself a little longer stance, just depending on the body and what's happening today. Keep wrapping in. Steer your left hip back, everybody. Take your right hip and your right thigh and your right waist a little more forward. Now press firmly through your legs and straighten your left leg 3/4 of the way. Feel the energy run from the ground all the way up to those fingertips. Keep that, and then rebend the front thigh. Sometimes you get deeper, sometimes you don't gain anything. It's just a feeling. Keep the hands pressing firmly together. Just start to reach the arms out in front of you, just like this. So the shoulders stack nicely over the hips. The arms are lengthening forward. The hands are pressing firmly together. Take your right arm, just wrap it underneath your left. Lift your elbows up a little. Bend deeper into your front thigh. And then with this, come forward, humble warrior with eagle arms. So maybe you're just coming down a little bit. That's cool. Maybe you can get in there and get your shoulder, let your head drop. But make sure you keep steering your left hip back and your right hip and thigh and waist forward, because you've got warrior one hips, not warrior two hips here. Press firmly through your feet. Grip your outer hip under you and come back to that breath. Press more through your feet and your legs. Start to pull yourself up. Unravel your arms, sweep them big. Warrior one. Hands to the floor, come to a plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Take it slow, take an up dog. If that's available, point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through your nose. Take a loud exhale out. Look to the top of the mat. You can step to get there, or you can float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Sometimes it doesn't always work out great for us. Exhale, fold. Sit into a chair pose. Here we go. Sit deep. This pose just never gets old. Yeah. Drive your heels into the mat. Move your seat, your butt back. Yeah. Lift your waist. You can try what we've been doing with our hands in this pose. Hands kind of off-centered in a prayer. Yep. Your eyes kind of looking a little towards that prayer, but in your neck definitely not dropping back. Feel the weight in your heels. Press up to a standing position. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, stand still. Take a deep breath in. Take a clearing breath out. Slide the arms up towards the sky. Hands can be shoulder width. They can be in that prayer. It's up to you. Sit into a chair. Chair pose. So thinking about gathering in the sides of your body. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Yep. Step, or float through your vinyasa. So you may have jump backs that you want to work on today. You might just want to step. Upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. Take your time, right foot forward, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. If you're nursing an injury, you prefer crescent lunge, opt for that. Hands come down. You can step right to a dog if you're not into the vinyasas, or move slow through your chaturanga. You're upward facing, lead with your chest. Nice, Maria. Hips up and back, downward facing. Left foot lands, building some momentum. Warrior one. Hands come down, plank position, vinyasa, up to you. Upward facing. From your hips, you move up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out, be still. Everyone looks good. Kristen, you look good. Nice, Kareen. Your arms look good. That adjustment we took last week helped. Yeah, think about the outer part of your arms and keep wrapping them in. Now look where you want to go. Step or float your feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath when you get there. Exhale, fold over yourself. Yeah, sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. And so you can play with this chair. Maybe the arms are shoulder width distance. Maybe this is impinging on your shoulder and your arms need to be back. That's another option. Hands can also come to that prayer off-centered. Good, feel the weight in your heels. Feel your waist draw in. Press to a standing position. Hands draw to prayer. Drop your arms. Repeat, arms up. Chair, sit deep. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through your vinyasa. It's up to you. Upward facing pulls you through. You can smile. Yeah, hands up and back, downward facing dog. Right foot forward. You're doing something you love to do. Remind yourself of that, warrior one. This makes you feel good. Hands come down, vinyasa or not. Good. When you get to your downward facing dog, left foot forward, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Hands come down, plank position. Slow it down, you'll get more. Upward facing, pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Be still. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair, weight moves into your heels. Feel that weight in your heels and then press up to a standing position. Bring your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. One more. Slide the arms up. Hands can be shoulder width distance or hands in prayer. Sit into chair. Move your weight back into your heels. Yeah. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step. You can float through your chaturanga. Upward facing. Fire up your thighs. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot forward. One more time, warrior one or crescent lunge, wherever you are. Hands come down, plank position. Bend your elbows, only halfway if you're going into the chaturanga. Up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing. Left foot forward, back foot on a strong angle. Hang with it, warrior one. Hands come down. You can step right back to a dog if you prefer. Up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bring your feet together. Yep. Look forward, lean onto your left hand, Vashisthasana side plank right here. Drop your bottom knee if you need a little support today. Hips are stacked, right arm slides up. Feel your left tricep, feel your left palm. Lift your hips a little higher and spark up your toes. Even if your bottom knee is down, you can spark up your right leg and your right toes. One more big breath in, stay with it. Look to the floor, plank position. Yep, plank position. In your plank, lift your right foot, flex it, and let it hover just an inch. Lengthen your tailbone, draw your belly in, feel your hands press firm, lengthen everything. With your flexed right foot, draw your right knee in, and then point your toes. Scoop out your belly and draw the right knee closer to you. Keep looking forward now. Land your right foot smack in between your hands. Pause. Yeah, turn your back foot on a strong angle. Back foot needs to be turned in a little and the leg is strong. Pull up on the front of your right shin. We're coming into triangle from the ground up. Yes, if it didn't work out, you can always just come up and reset. Your hand is on, you're somewhere on your front right leg. Even reach for a block. You can even use 2 blocks. Something's going on, you can do this. You can stack yourself up really high and create a lot of lift. I always say there's no pose that you can't do with the proper assistance and the proper guidance and the willingness to just try to move your body into these poses sometimes is a little different. Stack the 2 arms, look up with your eyes. Feel your outer hips hug in. Feel your feet pretty firm on the floor. Run a lot of energy through your upper torso. Take your bottom ribs, let them turn a little. It's not a back bend, just a little bit of a twist. Good, now with your left arm, you can keep it like this. With the last little bit, if you want to take a half bind today, you can wrap your left arm around and reach somewhere onto your right thigh for this half bind. It's up to you. Look over your left shoulder if you're doing that. And make sure all the weight isn't resting in your right hand, so it's nice and light. 3 more breaths. Keep the feet pressing down. Keep the energy of your breath moving. Look down with your eyes. I'm going to opt to try and keep my half bind today, but if that's not for you, your hand can move to your hip. We're floating here into half moon, focusing all my attention on my standing right leg, making sure that that foot doesn't turn. If your balance is a little off today, you can always go towards the wall in your house. That's the beauty of doing this at home. Just move yourself. And you lean against the wall. Right. I still have the half bind and I'm practicing turning my bottom ribs up towards the sky and then looking over the left shoulder. Spark up the left toes a lot. And you'll notice my block is kind of off my right baby toe, just enough that it's underneath my right shoulder. I'm not reaching for it. Kind of have to find that sweet spot. If you fall, just come back. Don't sweat the little stuff. You took a half bind, just release the left arm into a regular half moon. Find a lot of space. Really nice, Kristen. Breathe into the upper torso. Keep lifting from your inner left thigh. A few more breaths. Feel your right hip hug in. Good, look down, left hand to the floor, square your hips, just do that much first. Land your feet together. With your feet together, we sit into a bold chair pose. Drag the hands to a strong prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, turn towards the right. If your lower back is sensitive, this is really important. Separate your feet so they're hips width distance and slide a block in between your thighs. I will demonstrate if you're unsure. Right, take the pressure out of the lower back. Focus on the legs staying nice and even. If you would like to work further in this pose, open up your arms today. Use the back of the tricep to press against the outer part of the right thigh. Maybe take your top arm and wrap it around to your outer hip and give yourself a little bit more of an open shoulder opener. Keep digging the heels into the floor wherever you are. Look up with your eyes. 3 more breaths. If you bound in some way, come back to the regular pose. Focus on your leg strength. I feel what you feel. Pull around to chair. Yep, sit a little deeper. Lower your butt all the way to the ground. Hug your knees to your chest. Very different today, guys. Lay down on your backs, extend your left leg, take your right leg straight up. So your left leg is gonna go out in front of you. Your right leg is gonna go straight. You're gonna take a strap. If you don't have a strap, you're just gonna grab behind the thigh. You're gonna use your strap and let your right leg fall into the strap with your arms straight. If you have the ability to grab your big toe, do that. Left arm will stay down. 5 breaths. Lengthen the side of your body. Make sure your right leg is straight up and down. So with a strap over the base of your foot, hooking the big toe, or grabbing somewhere alongside your leg so you can create this little tension. Good. Keep the right leg straight up and down. Don't move it at all. Let go of anything that you're holding on to. Reach your arms forward. Keep the left leg down. Bring the hands to a prayer behind the thigh. It looks like this. Like we've been practicing with our arms. Hands in prayer behind the meaty part of the thigh. Up a little higher if you can't get there. Float the left leg up an inch from the ground. Scoop out the belly, lengthen the core and the neck, look up. Look towards your right toes, flex both your feet. Drive the prayed hands forward. Lift the shoulder blades more, scoop out your belly. Gather in, so the hugging in, hold. Okay, lower the left leg, keep the right leg where it is, let go of the hands, just let the back fall to the ground, let your right leg drop. So just lift the left leg up while I have you on your back. Let's do the other side. Grab the strap over the base of the foot, hook the big toe, but make sure your hips stay down and your shoulder doesn't come all the way up off the ground. 5 breaths, just breathe into the meaty part of your hamstring. If you feel it up by your butt, back off. That's not a good spot. Flex both your feet and just breathe. Run a lot of energy right here. Keep the left leg straight up and down where it is. See if it doesn't waver towards you or away from you. Let go of the strap or the hook toe. Bring your hands to that prayer behind the meaty part of your thigh. Lift the shoulders up. Right calf can stay down if this is too intense. If you're looking for more, float the right calf up off the floor. It's like you're pushing your feet and they're splitting apart in opposite directions. Scoop out your belly. Lift the shoulders and reach forward with those hands in prayer more. Keep the lower back down on the mat. Flex your feet. Drive forward more and hold. Separate your hands so that they line up alongside your body. Lift your right leg up to meet your left. So you have a 90-degree angle and your arms are driving forward. My shoulders are not touching the ground. Slide the palms so they go flat to the ground. Bend your knees in half. Amended boat. As you come up, palms press, legs bend to a 90-degree angle, torso and chest lifts. This is the real deal, guys. Happy Saturday. Flex the toes, lift the chest, drive the palms into the mat. Cross the ankles, step or float, vinyasa. Maybe you're just crawling back today. Upward facing pulls you through. Move your energy, get out of your head. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Feet come together at the back of the mat. Lean onto your right hand, find a side plank on this side. Left arm straight up towards the sky. Drop the bottom knee if you're opting for a modified version. Make sure the two hips stack. I'll just remind you, when you modify, make sure that your right knee is underneath your hip. It would look like this. Option 1 is to have the foot down. Option 2 is to float the leg up. Stay with it. Look down with your eyes, left hand to the floor, plank. Pause and plank. Lift your left foot an inch, flex the toes. So the foot is just hovering. Hug the knee, point the toes, draw in, round the spine. Press down more, look forward, land your left foot forward and through, turn your back foot on a strong angle, triangle pose from the ground up. Nice. Yeah, you kind of sometimes have to play with triangle. Sometimes it's a little longer, sometimes it's a little tighter. A little tighter is more the Ashtangi way. You definitely want to soften behind your left knee so you're not hyperextending into the knee. So a little micro bend is good. Take your right arm, wrap it around for half bind if you want more. Yeah. So when you wrap your hand around, you're reaching for the inner thigh, and then look over the right shoulder. There's a feeling that you're leaning back a tiny bit, but it's more twist of your ribs than a back bend. It's definitely not a back bend. Keep the half bind, look down with your eyes, focus on the left foot and keeping that foot forward. Float from here into your half moon. I use a block most of the time, aligning myself enough with the block underneath the left shoulder. Lift from the inner thigh. If you still have the half bind, keep wrapping for that outer thigh. Lift from that inner hip and spark up your right toes. Look up a little. Good. If you have the half bind, just release into regular Ardha Chandrasana half moon with the right arm up or the right hand to your hip. There should be a sensation. Sometimes the sensation is to fall out. Embrace the falling out. Last 3 breaths, try and enjoy them rather than fight it. So start the transition by looking down, then bring your right hand to the floor. Next, your hips will square, then you slide your feet together at the top of the mat. Sit into a strong chair right here. Arms reach up. Stay with it. Hands drag to a prayer. Keep it clean and simple. Hook the elbow and twist to the left. So it doesn't matter how long you've been practicing this stuff. Always look down and check your alignment. Your feet together, your shins lining up, your knees together. Open up your arms. If you went further on the other side, maybe wrap the top hand around. And you're going to reach for the hip. That's a nice little option. Yeah. Or just keep it basic. It's not so basic. More weight in your heels, everyone. Look up with your eyes. Stay with it. If you bound, just come back to hands regular in prayer. Focus on the strength that you have in your legs. You're all really strong. Keep that weight in your heels, pull around to a chair. Focus on the legs, press to a standing position, drag your hands to prayer. Stay with the flow just a little bit more. Standing up on your left leg's the power leg, right leg's gonna come up to a 90-degree angle. I would definitely have some blocks if you have them at the top of your mat here, or move some furniture. 90-degree angle here, okay? Arms are gonna wrap up towards the sky. This may be where you stay today, right with this, to the start of this. Just focus on the standing left leg, the power that you have. The waist is long, you are not dumping into your lower back. Bring the hands to prayer, okay? Turn a little to the right. Open up your arms. This may be where you stay. If you'd like to wrap your hand to the outside of your right thigh, that is fine. If you'd like to reach down and grab the outer blade of your foot for dancing Shiva, this is another option. But like we did early in the practice, lengthen and give just as much energy as your left arm as your right arm. Straight up and down, run the energy from the crown of the head to the base of your left heel. Press more through that standing leg. If you kick the leg forward, rebend, just let go of that foot for me. So now your arms are out, your leg is out. Rebend the leg, so everyone's back together. The leg is bent in half, the arms are twisted. Come back to center with your hands in prayer. Right thigh is lifted, 90-degree angle. With your hands in prayer, feed the leg back for a warrior three. Now I suggested having blocks here because you may choose to just drop your hands down or keep your hands in a prayer. Hip points are squared. Chest is lifted a little higher. Inner right thigh, you got it, Maria, it looks good. Flex your foot. If you flex your right foot, it's gonna engage your glute. Look down with your eyes. Right hand comes to the block, left hand to your hip. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana is where we're going. Lift from the inner right thigh, stack the left arm up. The left arm may not go up, so you can just have your hand on the flat part of your back. You can also just hang out in an amended warrior three, such as I'm showing here. Hands on your blocks. This is really an awesome pose. Keep a little soft bend behind your standing left knee so you don't go into the joint, and then twist open. 3 breaths. I won't take you out here. You got it. Yeah, this is a great place, Maria. Hand on lower back and lengthen from the side of your body and then look up with your eyes. Nice, Jody. Look down. Listen carefully, guys. Hands to the floor for a moment or to the blocks. Yes. Hug the right knee to the navel. Come up to stand, arms up, the way you started. If it didn't work out, just stand up on your left leg, hug your right knee to your navel. There's always the other side. Wrap your right arm underneath your left arm. Wrap your right thigh around for eagle. If you lost it, just join us on eagle. You're balancing on your left leg. Lift the elbows. Squeeze everything nice and tight. Look forward. The weight moves into your heel, your torso lifts. Right hip back, left hip forward. Sit a little deeper. Exhale the breath, release the arms, release the legs, stand up tall. Hands in prayer. Drop your arms. Stand up nice and tall. Just let it go. So whatever happened, it's happened, it's done with. You get to do the other side, it's a whole new experience. Stand on your right leg, draw your left knee in. This may be where you stay. Stay with this. Arms come up. Hands come to prayer at heart. Turn a little to the left. This may be where you stay. Just focus on little things. Open up your arms if you want more. You're like, who wants more? No one wants more. Everyone's good where they are. Yeah. Grab the outside of your thigh if this is where you'd like to stay, or reach down and get hold of the outer blade of your foot to kick the leg forward. Options are good. Lengthen from the crown of the head all the way through the base right heel. Soften the left hip. Yeah, my hip doesn't want to soften. You're doing great. Stay with it. If the leg is forward, see if you can let go of the grip. Keep the leg up and the arms up. Rebend the leg, everybody pull your torso around and bring your hands back to prayer the way we started. Yep, left leg is still bent in half, hands in prayer. Feed the leg forward, back towards warrior three. Hands can stay in prayer, they can drop to blocks. If you only have one block, just place it in the center. Don't open your hips, keep the hips nice and square towards the ground. Spark up your left toe, soften behind your right knee a little. Left hand's gonna stay down on that block, right hand's gonna come to the flat part of your back or your hip. Keep lifting from your inner thigh, stack the right arm up. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana. This is like the monster of all twists. Yes, hamstring, twisting, balance, focus. It's kind of like a little bit of hell in a bucket. Yes, lengthen and then open yourself the best that you can. Focus on something else rather than, like I don't like this pose or it doesn't feel great for me today. Focus on maybe lightening it, doing a little less. Stay with it. 2 more. Keep the lift of that left thigh. Look down with your eyes. Right hand down. Pause. You're back in like that unbended warrior three. Good. Soften the right knee a little. Hug the left knee to the navel. Do your best work to come up to stand. Standing right leg is the power leg. Left leg is at a 90-degree angle. Arms are up. The way we started this little flow. Last little bit here. Wrap the left arm under. Wrap the left leg around. Eagle. Standing right leg is the balancing leg. Lift the elbows up. Look forward. Sit deep into your seat. The weight is in the standing right heel. Steer the left hip back and the right hip forward. Squeeze down the center line of your body and hang on tight. Take one more big breath in. Exhale the breath. Release. Arms come up. Drag your hands to prayer and stand tall. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Sweep your arms out and up. Look up with your eyes. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, step, step, or float through your vinyasa. Yep. Upward facing pulls you through. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, slide your right knee forward, come into half pigeon. Yeah, come into half pigeon. You need it after that. Awesome job. Fold yourself down over your front thigh. Good. Let your head go. If you feel like all your weight is rolling to your right side, draw your left thigh down and make sure the top of your left foot is on the ground. And if that's hard, you can try curling your toes into the mat. I find this helps a lot. So stay here for 5 more breaths. If you want to add on a little more of a psoas release here, come up onto your fingertips. Make sure your torso and your hips are long and your hips are forward. Right hand's going to stay right next to your right thigh bone. Left leg's going to bend up. You're going to grab it with your left hand. Now, you're going to try and get your foot into the crease of your elbow. Good. If you know this pose and you can take the full bind, I am not available to do that right now. This is where I'm going to stay, and I'm really just going to focus on keeping my torso forward, and I'm getting a pretty powerful stretch through my back front thigh, which is actually more beneficial than me trying to struggle into the arm balance, the shoulder opening part of this. you're just in a regular half pigeon, enjoy for the last little. Let go of the foot if you have it. Plant the hands to the ground, curl the toes into the mat, step to a down dog. From your down dog, glide your left knee forward, come into half pigeon on this side. And then let yourself just go. Yeah, enjoy it. So stay with this, or if you'd like to add the little hip psoas opener, come on up. Left hand, and you can see better on this side, is close towards my left hip. Right leg bends up, and with that same hand, I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab from the inside. I'm gonna try and slide my foot to the crease of my elbow. But then I'm gonna make sure I'm not turning my whole body to the right. I'm actually trying to turn my waist and my shoulders forward. Yeah. My right thigh is wrapping down towards the ground. This is a pretty intense stretch. Yeah. One more big breath. If you have your foot, let that go. If you're just in a half pigeon, pull yourself up and join us. Lean onto your left butt cheek, slide the right leg forward. If you have blocks, bring them with you. Last little bit of the practice, guys. Stay with me for like the next 3-4 minutes and I'll have you out. Bend your knees, take your feet flat to the floor. Fingertips line up with the backs of your heels. That's a good way to know that you're in this. Lift the tailbone, slide your arms, kind of shimmy them underneath your shoulders, clasp hands. Lift from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. Drive the heels into the mat and breathe. Bridge pose. Rather than feeling like you're squeezing your butt to lift higher, focus your energy on lengthening from your tailbone to the backs of the knees. Exhale the breath lower down. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Try it again. If you would like to move on, flip your palms over your shoulders, bring your chin to your chest. If you're using a block and going for supported supported bridge, just take the block underneath the flat part of your back. If you're going up, chin to chest, giant breath in, exhale that breath, and here we go, lift yourself up. Nice. Yes. And wherever you are in this pose, don't beat yourself up. Just appreciate that you're doing something. Nice, Kristen. That's it. Yeah, Kareem, you can do the lactic acid flush. Legs go straight up, block underneath. It's like legs up the wall. Take another big breath in, everyone. Exhale the breath. Nice, Nance. Lower yourself down, come down nice and slow. If your legs are up and you're on a block, lower yourself nice and slow. Yeah. And then just give your knees a big squeeze in towards your chest. And grab the outer blades of your feet for a happy baby. When you take happy baby, make sure your tailbone stays down. So there's a lengthening from the base of the skull all the way through the base of the spine. If you feel really flexible today, you can grab your big toes. You can take a wide straddle on your back. Let the shoulders drop down the back and lengthen the tailbone. Good. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Give them a big squeeze in. We're going to set up for Shavasana here. I'm going to give you 2 options for Shavasana. Traditional Shavasana, where you just kind of melt onto the ground, or legs up the wall. If you're near a wall and you want to take your legs up the wall, if you prefer, you can use some blocks, slide a block underneath your lower back if you don't have a wall nearby, and just take your legs up like this. Ideally, make it very passive and restorative for yourself. If you're not into that active kind of shavasana, you just need to plop down. Find something that works right here. Wherever you are, just let your body and your mind kind of shut off. Check out of the focus on Ujjayi breath and let your body just fall. Like literally just let all the thoughts, all the emotion, all the feeling just go. Take a big breath in through the nose. Take a loud, make as much noise as you need. You're at home, exhale the breath out. If your legs are up and there's a block underneath you, bend your legs in half very slowly. Take your feet to the floor. Remove the block, let that settle. If you're just flat down on your back, start to come back, hug your knees to your chest. And move with ease to a seated position as you bring yourself up. For the final part of the practice, really important to just kind of scan the body. You did all this awesome work. Bring the hands to a prayer, bow your head for a moment. And I almost feel like you get this opportunity of getting a new body every time you come to your mat, but more importantly, a new mindset, a new focus. Lift your head, open your eyes with gratitude. Namaste. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm going to stick to Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9:30. Make sure you sign up for that mailing list, and I send the links out every Sunday night. And if I add in the class, I let you know. And it's our easiest way of communicating. Thank you.